Hey guys, welcome back to FVSD Life. My name's Bronwyn, and for today's video I'm going to talk to you guys about a attention deficit hyperactivity disorder and FVSD. Next week's video I'm going to be doing a bit of a life health update. I'm going to be explaining to you guys what's been going on since the surgery and other stuff that's been going on, and why I'm going to talk about why my hair is so greasy as well. But I will be explaining that. There's a whole reason behind it. But if you're following me on TikTok, you will know. If you're not following me on TikTok, I highly recommend you give me a follow. My channel is linked on my profile, but I'll also link it in the description below as well. So, right. I'm going to get right into this video by starting off by saying, for those that don't know, I've been diagnosed with attention deficit disorder, but I've been told that they don't actually call it ADD anymore. They call it attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Now, if anyone knows me, they'll know that I'm not really a fidgety sort of person. I'm not really someone who constantly bounces around or anything. So with symptoms of ADHD are zoning out, which is something that I have. You just like switch off. You completely go off with the fairies, is what they used to say when I was younger. You can be restless, so fidgety. You're unable to stay still in one space. Organisation, there's not very much. But to be honest with me, I'm quite a messy person. If I fixate on something, I fixate on it, and then I get bored. There's a lot of, when it comes to routine, if it gets stopped or broken, we're not really, it's not a great thing. We're not, we do. But yeah, there's a lot of symptoms, and ADHD is, I say this all the time in every video, but it's becoming a lot more common now, especially in adults. I mean, a lot of women get diagnosed as an adult, like myself. I think I was diagnosed a good couple of years ago now. But yeah, so how to get a diagnosis? So there's a couple ways. The number one is obviously go to your doctor or maybe pediatrician or something, and just say, I think my child's got this. They'll sit down, talk with your child, or you if you think you have it yourself, and they'll ask you a lot of questions, but they'll also then give you a and this is what happened with me, but I had a neuropsychiatrist. I will explain why in a second. So they also give gosh, I don't know what it's called. I'll tell you, it's like a form, but the loads and loads of pages in this form, and quite literally there's loads of like tick boxes of how, like, loads of different symptoms broken down, but the thing is with these symptoms, about how they affected you as a child in one column, and how they affected you as an adult in the second column. I'm so sorry, I think something's going on with my eyes. I don't know what's going on, but yeah. And so with this sort of basis, they'll I don't know with the GP if they'll refer you to someone, or I don't know if they'll just give you a diagnosis with the results. But they do tend to look at the form properly, go through everything and stuff like that. But yeah, so with me, I was quite a few years ago, I was diagnosed with a functional neurological disorder, which I can talk about in a completely different video. Because there's loads of different types of functional neurological disorders. And so with this, I was sent to a neuropsychiatrist, and he sat down and spoke with me about it. And because I have something called dissociative seizure, so I constantly zone out, I constantly switch off. But they did loads of tests, not epilepsy. Then they went to then with a neuropsychiatrist, he said, well, how about I send you to a functional neurological disorder outpatient rehabilitation program. And for, I think it was 2 weeks, I went there for 2-3 weeks. And I met, I obviously said yes. Went there, I met some other people, quite a few people who were in a similar situation, who also had functional neurological disorders. And they And they also, I met a team as well. It's a team of neuropsychiatrists, personal trainers, no, physiotherapists. There was I think there was a dietitian at one point. There was also doctors as well, but it was all based at Queen Square Hospital in London. So this is why I was really excited to do it, because quite a few people know when it comes to neurology, Queen Square is supposed to be one of the better areas. But yeah, it's one of the known hives, I would say, when it comes to neurology. And also, I was under King's College, and the guy that I was seeing, who's also based in, I think he's based in Queen Square as well. But yeah, so I went there, and but I was mainly seeing the neuropsychiatrist and the physio. And the neuropsychiatrist, I sat down quite a bit and I spoke about my life, my everything that I've gone through and everything. And she then sort of asked me about my symptoms. I sort of explained everything. She said, "Have you ever been looked into for ADHD?" And I said, when I was younger, they did look. They had to look at my school, but because I didn't have the hyperactivity side, they didn't. They just brushed me to the side, and so it just went, right, okay. And yeah, so she said, but I think you might have it. And so she gave me a form. Took it home that night. I filled it out. Oh my gosh, the amount of stuff that really resonated with me, that I really felt like I was there, like, oh my gosh, I think I have this. And it floored my mum as well, because obviously, like, I was really, I was like 20, I think I was about 25, 26 when it happened. And mum was like, surely not. I mean, I would have known, And so it's just, by reading all these symptoms, it just made sense. So we ticked all these boxes. I took it back, and she was there. She sort of like spoke with me about all the results, and she then said I could put you on medication, which will bring. And I said we could give it a try. I did try it, and It didn't resonate with me. So instead, they focused on the neurological side, where I could get my brain to focus more. That has been helping, but the last couple of weeks I haven't been doing any of the exercises. I haven't been okay enough. But yeah, I do still have all the paperwork to help me start up again. But yeah, so that's how I got my diagnosis. So treatments, there is obviously medication. Quite a lot of people put I'm going to be honest, I think it's quite a common treatment is medication. And it does work sometimes. I don't know. I mean, I tried it once. I wasn't too big on it. I think I will go on it again at some point, but not right now. I'm focusing on getting all the other health stuff sorted. There's other treatments where you could have, like I did with therapy, so with the rehabilitation program. But with that, I think you need to have a neuropsychiatrist or something like that to refer you there. But yeah, I mean, ADHD is it's just, when I was younger, but I still live on a council estate. But the thing is, back in the day, if you grew up on a council estate, you were known to, there was a certain reputation for how people were raised, and it was really, I still find it quite insulting. And, people assume that because of that you put in fatty foods and stuff like that. And back in the day, when it came to ADHD, they assumed it's a chemical thing when it comes to like a dietary thing. I think it's like E numbers or something like that. I can't remember exactly. But back then, like, I'm not even joking, half my school was diagnosed with ADHD, and it was insane, like primary school. So yeah, I mean, it's bonkers. It's absolutely bonkers that it took so long, but it actually makes sense, because when I was younger, in paperwork, like literally school report, it would say, Branwyn needs to focus more. She's constantly away with the fairies, and that is the phrase they would constantly use. And yeah, I mean, it's just, I'm really, really happy I finally have that diagnosis though. So it's been a lot more better answers. And before I finish this video, I'm going to say one more thing, is that a lot of doctors misdiagnose ADHD for autism, because a lot of the symptoms with the autistic spectrum are linked with ADHD. So because of that, it's just really, because of that, quite a lot of women get diagnosed later in life as well. I don't mean little girls, I mean actual adult women. Yeah, and I've been told that's another like hormone thing as well with women. So yeah, I mean, it's just, yeah. But anyway, I feel like I've rambled on quite a lot. But yeah, I'm going to wrap up this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit the thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel. It would mean the absolute world to me if I could hit 100 subscribers. I mean, yeah. Next week's video, I'm going to be giving you guys a life health update about how everything's been going. And yeah, I will see you all next week for a brand new video. Bye.